Right, sorry about that, guys. We had some technical difficulties. I didn't have the chat enabled, and then I got kicked out because I was playing copyrighted music. But we're back. Now, like I was saying before, I'm going to try and draw a character for my website and make a sorry, this website is broken page because my website is absolutely knackered. So the idea is to make some sort of maybe mechanic type character, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So like I said at the start, I'm drawing in Infinity Designer using the sketch or the pixel persona, which allows me to sketch using various brushes like mechanical pencil HB, which I'm using just now. And everybody can chat now. Excellent. Right, let's get cracking. That's a bit better. Right. I was always told that construction is the greatest thing you can do when designing characters. So basically build up your character using three-dimensional shapes. So a circle is a good place to start for a head. What I normally do then is draw a crosshair. So instead of it looking like a flat circle, it looks like a sphere. I think we'll go thin here. What's a crack tonight, Paul? Good to see you here. So the reason for drawing the crosshair on the sphere was it gives me a line to attach the features of the creature to. In this case, the eyes. I'm slightly worried, I think. And the good thing with Infinity Designer is, unlike paper and pencil, I can undo and redo. So to undo in Infinity Designer, it's a 2-finger tap. So you can see it's me undoing what I did before. And to redo, it's a 3-finger tap. And that takes me back. I think what I'll do is undo a little bit here. I think, in fact, rub out. I need to be looking down at the box. So I'll change for the. That's a little bit right. And the eejit eyes are like 2 eggs smushed together. Here for a short time, must sleep soon, have fun and good luck. Excellent, don't know who you are. Good evening, Gordon, how are we? Where are the details? Right. So he's a bit perplexed. So I'll just. Right. Ah, excellent. Good to see the Bairns here too. Hi, Victoria. Welcome. Watch me doodle. I think I'll do little stumpy legs. Good evening, Curtis. Good to see you here too. Right, we'll do his head. I think maybe he could be wearing a cap of some sort. This sort. We'll see. Okay, yeah, it's working all right. What's everybody been up to this fine Sunday? Spent most of the afternoon, once I finally got up, painting my office. Which is a lot of fun. Selling books and writing new ones. Excellent. It's always good to sell books. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, I will be selling an eejits collection book as well. It's basically a collection of eejits with a silly rhyme attached to each one. So hopefully that should be in production soon. Right, get rid of that box. So he's looking down here. I'll draw that over here. Paul, taking photos in the morning and learning software in the afternoon. Cool. What software are you working on, Paul? Gordy, taking easy after your sea dip. Good to see you back out in the sea. I must actually get out myself. in a long time. So I'm still thinking this box could be some sort of gadget with cranks and springs and gears and maybe smoke coming out of it because it's knackered. We'll see if we can play with that later. Thanks, Victoria. You've already had a wee sneak peek at the eejits book because I wanted you to have a look, seeing as you're an author yourself. And thank you very much for your feedback. I'm rewriting some of the rhymes just now. Stuck in a couple, but I'm sure I'll crack it. Oh, forgive us, kitty here. Don't know. Right, go on the arms. Right, so I've already drawn the sort of lines where I think the arms should go. Almost like drawing the arms for a stick man. Paul, learning Procreate. Never tried Procreate. Is it any good? A lot of artists use it. And it looks quite good. And I believe you can even animate on it now, which is something I'd love to be able to do, but I don't think I've got the time. Right, so he's maybe holding a spanner. So again, just constructing it out of simple shapes. Then we can put his hand in. Thumb in there. What is that tapping? It's weird. Right, so that's the shape of, it's like a triangle for his top or upper arm. So it's going to be, as far as that goes, I want him sort of scratching his head. Some of this. Oh, I had another play with Affinity Designer yesterday. I've got a handle on the vectors, but I haven't figured the raster side. Okay, it takes time. If you look on the Affinity website, can't remember now, it's a Serif or Affinity website, there is a heap of tutorials. It should help you out. Undo. Try again. Yeah, that's why I like the vector part of the Infinity Designer, because it allows to give me nice smooth lines. There's no way I could draw the lines I desire by freehand. Got some eyebrows on them. A little beard. Right, let's sort this arm again. Right, construction, that's square, so that's size his hand there. No, still doesn't look right. Well, this sort. Hate hands sometimes. Is that it? I don't know. Some And how are you getting on with Infinity Designer, Victoria? I saw the first thing you created, put it up on Instagram, looked quite good. Right, so I think I'll not torture myself with this sketch anymore. So, let's see. Up here in the top corner of the iPad, I've got my layers. And at the moment, I am sketching in a pixel layer. Up here, I can change from pixel to raster, to vector, sorry. And if I add a new vector layer above my sketch, I can now go into and do vector lines. So what I normally do is I turn down the opacity of the sketch to hide it a little bit, so you can see what I'm doing more clearly. And then we are into drawing lines. So using the pen tool, set the stroke, there's a fill, and there's a stroke. Stroke is all we're needing. So the stroke is the outline, and the fill makes a shape. So we've got no colour for the fill, we've got black in for the stroke. And then I set my width to 3 points, typically. And then we're good to go. So I'll move that back up a bit. So with the pen tool, like I said last time, you can draw straight lines like that. Or if you tap and hold, you've got these node, what are they called, handles, that turn it from a sharp point to a bend like that. And if you tap, you get a sharp point. If you hold and stretch, you get a curvy line. So delete that and I'll go over my sketch lines. Now up here in the top corner again, we've got here what we call the pressure. And as you can see, I can influence the thickness of the curve up to maximum of 3 points at the moment. 3 points being the thickness. And if I take this point here, the start of the line gets thinner and thicker. And then this one here, it's the same for the other side. And you can add more, you can do the middle. So I spend a lot of time fiddling a bit with the pressure of the lines to get these nice tapered lines. And sometimes, oops, just deviate from the sketch a little bit. So there's two main tools that I use in the vector side of things: the pen tool and the edit nodes tool. So I'm on edit nodes tool just now, which allows me to muck about with the line that I've already created. Back to the pen tool. And then for this one, I'll put 2 sharp points in. Oops. Edit. The good thing is with the edit tool, you don't need to actually control the handles of the nodes as well. You can just grab a line anywhere and position it where you want. Now for the eyes, I turn the thickness down to 2. Back to the pen tool. I did try to have some music playing in the background before I started this, but YouTube shut me down. Pen tool. The only thing missing from the iPad version compared to the desktop version of Affinity Designer is you can save or have presets for some of your pressures, so you don't have to continually go in and change them. Just select ones you want to keep. Now see how this line sits over that line, and it doesn't quite match. What I can do is go back into the raster side of things and hit the eraser button. If I turn my brush thickness down, or width down, sorry, I can then rub out some of the line. So what I'll do is someone knows that. And what I might do, back to vector. Oh, back to vector. Thickness line up a wee bit at the end. Side. That's a bit better. So sticking with too thick line, I'll keep going with the features here. Ah, Ewan, welcome. No matter, you didn't miss much at the start because I had massive technical difficulties, completely screwed everything up, forgot to turn on the chat. Couldn't work out how to do that, so I had to stop the stream, start the stream, and then when I started again, YouTube shut me down because I was playing music in the background. So this is the third attempt at getting this going, but we're here now. And we are drawing a character that's looking at something, a gadget or something that's broken, because I want to use this for my website, which is completely borked at the moment. It's going to take a wee while to fix. So I'm going to put this guy up on the page and say, sorry, website is broken, please visit my Instagram or something like that, or Patreon even. Right, I was just about to change this because I don't like the way this line hits the eye. No, don't like that either. Undo, undo, undo. It's a bit better. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, changing the thickness back up to 3 for the main outline of the body again. And back to the pane. What music was it? Disney instrumental playlist. I thought I'd get away with that one, but obviously Disney's watching me. Right. When you'll see me go off screen up here, that's me just changing the pressure of the line to get the tapered effect that I want. Can you give me a quick flash of the sketch? Yes, I certainly can. So I'll switch off the layer for the vectors, and that is the sketch. So all I do then is I turn the opacity down. Oops. Select the layer, turn the opacity down in options, put 25%. Go back to the vector layer, switch it back on, and we're back in business. No, I don't think I would have a chance with any music. I think they're quite strict on YouTube streaming now. So you just have to listen to me. And I ain't going to start singing. Yeah, funnily enough, it was Frozen that was on. That's not right. Everything that line up a bit at the bottom. Hold on. Reset. Right, onto the legs. Back to the pane. Edit. and the all important belly button, which is just like the number 6. Right, teeth now. What you'll find is a bob a bit all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to how to build a character up. If you've got any questions or anything like that, give me, just throw them in the chat. Let me drink water. Let's do his little birdie. Yeah, looking all right so far. Who was it that gave you the idea of replacing the eejits on the grey ovals? I don't understand what you mean. Oh, the shadows. Right, aye. Can't remember where I saw it. But I was told it's best to have something around their feet, like a shadow or something, to ground the character on the page. Otherwise, they look like they're floating a bit in space. So the easiest thing I could do was the grey circles. Victoria, what's your ultimate favourite eejit that you've created? Oof, it's a hard one. It changes from time to time. I quite like the tall yellow guy that I use in my avatars and what do you call them? Login screens. And that's the one I got the teddy made of. If you have a look at my Instagram, you'll see a crocheted eejit made by Kenzie's Crochet up here in Thurso. Very talented lady. And I asked her to commissioned her to make an eejit, and I gave her 3 different eejits to choose from, to create something from, and she picked the big yellow guy, Blinky. What's his name? Eejits Blink McBlinkium or something like that. He's quite heavily used in all my stuff, and he's also going to be in the new Eejits book, collection book. And you can see I don't tend to keep exactly to the sketch. Are you still getting a lot of commissions? No. Well, I'm getting a few people asking me, but I've turned most of them down while I concentrate on doing stuff for Patreon, the custom eejits that you get, Gordy. Thank you very much for always supporting me there. And so I really want to take most of the year off from commissions. I have got one for December, which I've agreed to, and I think I've got one for September, maybe, for a guy in America. He's wanting one for his wedding. He actually invited me to his wedding, but Don't think I'll be making that, unfortunately. It's been good crack. Right, eyeballs, or the, what you call them, pupils. Just circles. And we'll make sure the ends are the same thickness. So the good thing is I can muck about with these now and get them positioned where I want them. Now, a tip for copying, say I wanted to make an exact duplicate of that eye pupil, is using the move tool, which I've got here. If you put your two fingers on the screen, you'll see two blue dots appear underneath your fingers. And then you drag out another copy and let go. That's looking not bad now. Still not 100% sure about that hat. I might tweak that later. Right, on with the arms anyway. So back to the pen tool. Make sure I've got the right thickness. And the tapers. Bish, bish, bosh. Do the thumb first. And this line here from his body that's going to cross over, I'll show you, like I did last time, a wee trick to get rid of them. In fact, I've already shown you, haven't I? So this vector art takes a wee bit of fiddling about, but I'm getting there. Curtis likes the death one and the sticker sent him, any one that are fish related. Oh well, he would have been happy with the last stream because it was a little fish guy. And he was a Patreon exclusive character. Right, I'm not sure which way. I think that one should go back to there. I'll make that thicker. Give it a bit of a curve. Looks like he's got some muscles. Right, so to get rid of the line, I did it before, but I'll go over it again. Select the line, go to the pixel or the raster persona, choose the erase brush tool, and I can rub out the line. But the good thing is it's not actually rubbing the line out, it's just creating a mask. It makes it look like, oops, wrong thing. Makes it look like it has gone. Right, not happy with that hand. I'll get there. Come on, change. Oh, was that? So that screen got a bit blurry, is it? Can you see that? Okay. The next draw in your style, Paul, will be starting the start of July, because what I decided, I wasn't going to do it every month because people might just get a bit fed up with it. So I will do it every second month. Right, let's get this other annoying arm. And thanks to everybody who did take part in the first ever Draw It In Your Style. It was good crack, and I was super surprised at the amount of entries we got. And all of them were fantastic. So hopefully that continues. It's just a bit of fun. But I do, or we do, as in the Patreon clan, choose the winner, and that winner then gets a wee prize. Thanks, Victoria. I think you were the very first entry in the last one. That was a cracking entry too. Right, we'll make that finger a bit shorter. Still struggling with this finger. This hand. Let's have his finger bent slightly so it's more like he's scratching his head. Then pick the other finger. It's all come into place. Other finger there. That's a bit better. Yeah, there's nothing worse than boring schoolwork, Victoria. Luckily, both my kids are, well, one of my kids is still in school, but she's in 5th year and I can't help her. She asked me a question the other day about circles, and I told her they were round. Didn't go down very well. Great dad jokes, but something to do with equations and beyond my meagre abilities. So I don't have to do much of the boring schoolwork anymore. Right, I think that's not bad. Right, for what I tend to do with my Egypt characters when they are carrying objects, or the objects or stuff in the background or whatever, foreground. So let's say like this spanner here. I hope you can still see the spanner. I actually draw that as a vector shape without an outline. So I now use the fill instead of the stroke, and I'll change it to a sort of grey colour. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm done. Hold on a second. Put a line in here first. That doesn't look right. Where? Yeah, thanks. Right, now we're saying, instead of using the outlines now, I will use shapes and back the pen tool and draw. Well, hold on, I'll do this another way. I'll do shapes. So using the rectangle tool over here, I draw a rectangle, and I can position it as the handle. This manner. Now, if I grab any of these dots or nodes on the shape, there's one here for rotate. This one expands it across the corner. That one lengthens it. I can't do anything to change the shape because it's a preset rectangle until I go up to command in the top toolbar here. Is that not working? Is that not working? Come on. What's happened? There. Right, so there's a menu up here. I finally got it open. And there's an option here called Convert to Curves. So when I click on that, I can now, oops, helps on how the thing's selected. Convert to curves. So now when I go to the edit tool, I can change the shape of the, oops, back a bit. I can change the shape of the rectangle now. So we'll make it a little bit thicker on one side. And then I draw two circles. Doesn't look much of a spanner at the moment, but we'll get there. In fact, I'll finish this bit. So now to make the jaws of the spanner, I'll draw another rectangle and I'll change the colour slightly. Is that about in the middle? And the rectangle's got 4 sharp corners because I chose the sharp corner rectangle from the shapes list in the corner here and from the toolbars I say, but there's a corner tool. So if I click on that, click on the corner tool, I can now grab and make radiused corners. So we'll make that, and you can control the size of it down the bottom here. So let's just make them 30, I think. So you can see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the jaw shape here. And what I'll do then is take that shape, hold down one finger on the screen to select it. Oops, I'm selecting. Or 2 fingers? Can't remember. No, 1 finger. So select both of these shapes. They're both highlighted now. And I go up to the toolbar at the top, and there's a thing for geometry here where I can add, subtract, and do various things with shapes. So if I subtract, you'll see that the rectangle that I drew with the corners has cut out that into the circle. That doesn't make sense, does it? Bad English. But there we go. So now I can take this shape, and it's still a separate shape to the handle at the moment. 2 fingers onto the screen and drag out and get another copy. I can mirror that round, make it slightly smaller, and just get looking like it's run parallel to something like that. And then once I've done that, I can either select each of the shapes of the rectangle for the handle and the two circles for the ends of the spanner. I can either select them on the screen like that, or I can go into the layers. So cancel that. Select. Whoop. So there's my layers for each of my shapes. So I can select one, and it's highlighted grey. But if I tap and select the other shape, it'll deselect the previous shape. So if I want to multiple select different parts, select the first one, drag across, and then all three parts are selected. Go back up here and add them together now, and they become one shape. And again, I can fiddle a bit with the nodes. I can use the corner tool here. Oops. Radius is in there. Make it 60. Make it 150. And there we go. There's a basic spanner. Lots of benefits of doing it this way. It's, I suppose I've got more control. Building things with easy shapes. I mean, I could have drawn that freehand. I don't think it would look as good. Now, at the moment, that's a flat 2D shape. So to give it a bit more depth, I've selected the whole spanner shape in the layers tab here, and then I go back up to the top toolbar and duplicate. So now I've got two layers exactly the same. So go back to that, so you can see I've got two spanners, but they're sitting one on top of the other. So if I take the one underneath and I make it darker, I'll add a bit of texture maybe. Then what I'll do is I'll move it offset slightly. Don't want that texture. And you can see, in fact, maybe instead of making it darker, make it lighter. So you can see now I've created an almost 3D effect. But what I can do to finish it off, because at the moment it just looks like two 2D shapes. So because I can now add nodes, I can join them up. And make it look like one part. Oops. Link. Ooh. Undo. So there we go, one spanner, but he's not holding the spanner, so we need to reorganize. So I'll group them two together and drag it. I'll show you here. So I've got a layer here for, oops, what's that doing here? 2 seconds. Right, so I've got a layer, in fact, that's a layer here, vector layer. It's got all the different lines that I've used for creating the character so far. And above that, I've got my spanner. So now I can take that spanner and drag it so it's below the line. So the black lines are now over the top of the spanner. If I go down far enough, there we go. So now the lines that I made for the hand are over the spanner. So I can adjust these now. to make it look like it's holding spit. And again, now I've got this spanner here. I go to the eraser tool. I can rub this whole bit out. It's underneath his hand. Oops, too far. Turn the size down a wee bit. There we go. Right, now to colour the character. I will now make another vector layer to keep them separate from the lines. Make sure that vector layer is under my lines layer. Back to the pen tool. Now, what colour will I make this guy? What was the last one? Blue. So, any suggestions? What the colour you think we should use? Could make them off sort of red, yeah. Let's see how it happens when I do. Now, if you were here last time, you'll remember this is the boring bit where I go tap, tap, tappity tap. And go round the outline, building up a shape underneath the lines. And don't worry that it's going off at the moment. Once I get round here, good shout, Gordy, with the boiler suit blue from the old Northwest days. Be a minging oily blue too. Oh, Fricka Art, how are you? Snooks you there. How are things tonight? Watch me go tap, tap, tappity tap. As I build this character up as a vector shape. Yale donates a warning if it's suggesting something in error on the page. Yeah. Let's play a bit and see. Now I've got that colour blocked in, I can easily change it. Let's go. Yeah, I like that colour. That's almost mustardy. We'll go out and see. Let's see. Right, you notice in here, again, I've got an area that is blocked in that I don't want. So what I'll do is I will draw another shape. Here. And then using the geometry tools, select both the yellow and the grey shape. Go to the top toolbar, geometry and subtract. And it always takes away the top shape from the bottom shape. Is that right? Yeah. So then we've got basically a hole. I did notice there's something wrong with my lines here. So back to editing these. Tidy up a bit. Right, cool. Right, just double check I'm on the right layer. And back to vector tools. Back to my yellow. Sorry, even. It's no longer red. Frigga, good. Just finished my first drawing on the new iPad. Excellent. How did you find it? I found it quite a steep learning curve, learning how to draw on the iPad with the pencil sort of running along the glass screen. It was a weird feeling when you usually have the texture of the paper. The bite. Oh, lights went off there. But like everything, it takes a wee bit of practice. That's the main thing. As long as you're having fun and still learning, that's the main thing. Oops. Now again, as we're going around the colours, I noticed something wrong with the lines. I'll just tidy it up over here. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. Feet, arms, and body. So now, do the eyes. Back to white. Which is easier, iPad or PC for Affinity drawing? I find it easier on the iPad. The desktop version, I've got a Cintiq tablet for drawing, for creating my stuff on. That's connected to my computer. But for some reason, I can't sketch in it as well as I can on the iPad. And as you can see, doing that eyes, I've done it in the wrong layer, so we'll just move it because it's above the lines. And now we'll get there eventually. Right, so that's it. Pick up the last dot that we put in and keep those. Pick up the last dot and keep going. And I think I'll give them teeth is quite, I can't speak, slightly off white teeth. So I'll just double check. Right there again. It has a bad habit of jumping layers sometimes, I don't know why. Or not jumping, but forgetting where you are. So you constantly got to double check you're drawing the right place. This is thrilling stuff, is it not? Right to the back of the mouth now, which is typically dark red. Ah, Mr. Posty's here. How are you doing, my friend? Jack's a very talented musician and has got his own brand of clothing as well. If you search for Delete Doubt on Instagram, I don't know, are you on Facebook as well? You are on Facebook. He has created a brand of clothing with a message saying it's okay to not be okay, I believe. So definitely check it out. Right. What I normally do now is I'd go around and block in all the rest of the features, the beard, the rest of the eyeballs, the hat. But what I'm going to do is actually skip forward and show you how I do the shading and highlighting. So for that, and this is the advantage Affinity Designer has it over the likes of Adobe's Illustrator, is the raster tools that I used for sketching in the first place. So you can see here all the different shapes I've made for the colours. So we take this red for the back of the mouth. What I do now is go up here to the top and add 2 pixel layers. I drag those layers inside or on top of the shape. So I've got 2 layers, hold on to them and drag them on top. So you see the blue line that goes through the layer, let go. Now that didn't work. That 2 pixel layers are now inside this shape. So for the highlighting, I take the first pixel layer, which is the top of one of the 2, and go up to the options here and change it. There's different, what would you call them, styles for each of the layers. Now normally they're all set to normal, but I can change the pixel layer now to what is called screen. So change that to screen there for the highlighting. And that's the top layer here. So then on the second layer, the second pixel layer, go back to the options and I change it to multiply. I'll explain what they are in a minute. So that one's screen, that one's multiply. Now if I take a paintbrush and choose the red color, and then there's an eyedropper up here that allows you to pick colors off the screen. So you hit the eyedropper, drag it off the screen, and then you can see the ring around it changes as you hover over the different colors. So I can hover over the red, let go, and it'll choose the red for me up here. Clicking it and it'll set into the film. So I've got a paintbrush, a raster paintbrush, and it's a big round brush. And what I do down here is I change the settings, change the settings of the brush. So I've got a width, which I can play a bit with. I've got opacity, flow, and hardness. The only 2 I change are opacity and hardness. I turn the hardness right down to 0. And I change the opacity down to 20%. That gives me a really soft, fuzzy brush to paint with. Oh! As he turns his iPad off. Now going back to the layers up here, so I've got my screen layer and my pixel layer, my multiply layer. I always paint with the same color of the shape that I'm painting on. Now because I've set the layer to multiply, when I paint on here, it might be hard to see. Can you see that? It paints it darker. basically. So I can put that, becomes the shadow in here. And then I switch layers to the highlight layer, which is set to screen style. When I paint on here, it makes it lighter. Still using the same color, so I don't have to worry about changing colors to match. Let's just choose the color for the shape. Let's choose the color that the shape was originally made from, and then paint. Because it's set to screen, it paints it slightly lighter. The multiply paints it darker. Screen paints it lighter. I think you can just about see it. It's not so clear in the multiply maybe, but and you can muck about with the size of the brush. There you go. What we'll do is we'll take some of that out. So that makes sense. So if I was to now go back to the body, the shape that I used to colour the body, again go up here and add 2 pixel layers. Grab both that layers, drag them into or onto the shape, and then change each one. The top one to screen, and the bottom one to multiply. Why is it not working up here? Take the color picker, pick the yellow, make sure I'm using the paintbrush, and then I can make sure I'm on the shadow layer. And you can see, I'm just doing this roughly, but you can see how that makes that darker. And then the screen one, you can see how that makes that lighter. So we'll undo that because that's. And what I do now is I usually go around and use the selection tool, which allows me to draw an area to paint in. So if I was to draw that, you see that highlighted area, I can now only paint inside that area. Oops. Let's just change the color so you can see it. So I can only paint inside that area. Yeah. So what I do then is I go around and isolate bits I want to put shadows in. So this bit underneath the rise of his eye, create that shape there. Make sure I've got the yellow on the shadow layer. Change the size of the brush slightly. What does it look like it's doing? It's just my eyes. Because I know what's set to multiply. Here we go. Eejit. So there we go. So you can make a shadow in. If I want to make the shadow darker, what I sometimes do is put in a grey. Go over it with a grey. And then paint over it again with the yellow. And then you can deselect it, and it shows you've got that bit. So I probably painted too much shadows in there. So let's just take some undo with a double finger tap. I'll do that again. Oh no, undone too far. There we go. And you can see, because of, unfortunately, doesn't the brush, you see the circle in the middle of the screen here. That's me changing the size of the brush. Unfortunately, in the iPad version, it doesn't keep the circle on the screen. But in the desktop version, it does. So it's quite handy. You can see the outline of where your brush is. But because my brush is so big, I paint outside the shape to allow the feathered effect of the soft brush to work inside to paint inside the highlighted area, the selected area. So again, just select an area. Oops. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Paint in there. Let's put a bit of grey in. So let's do up here. And if anybody's got any more questions, just drop them in the chat. Now you see, if you can see that, I've selected up this area here. I've gone past the line here. So that means if I painted in here, it would paint over that. And don't want that. So what I can do down the bottom here is change the settings for the selection tool to new, from new to there's add or subtract. So now I want to subtract this little area. So if I just swing it around a wee bit, and then it does that. Bish, bash, bosh. So let's just check them. Might add a wee bit of yet. Let it come right off here. Pernickety stuff, but you get used to doing it and you get quite quick at it sometimes. A little bit of practice. So now I'm on the highlight layer for this shape, and I'm going to paint. So when I'm doing the shadows and highlights, I always imagine a light source coming from a particular direction, and usually when I'm doing the characters or eejits, it's usually in the direction the character's facing from above. So I'm assuming that the light's coming this way. So the light's catching the ridge of this eyebrow piece here, and then everything below it will be slightly shadowed. I mean, I'm no expert in painting light shadows, but it's worked for me so far. I've managed to get away with it. No worries, Gordy boy. Gotta look after that, rascals. So again, select an area to paint in. Not on the right layer. Because I'm using a brush that's 20% opacity and 0 hardness, I can keep painting over the same bit to increase the intensity of the light. So the closer to the light source the parts of the creature are, the stronger the light will be. Or so I am told. Right, so I've got a big brush now, and we'll do the general shadow. What I also like to do is, as well as doing general sort of large area shadows is do highlights around the edge. I think that's called rim lighting, maybe. I don't know. You can just see that. Brush the size down. I'm putting a shadow in on his belly button here, but you can't see it because I painted over the area with the highlight. So I go to the eraser brush, go to the highlight layer, and again I set my eraser brush to 0 hardness and 20% opacity. Up the thickness a wee bit. I'll take that area there. That's maybe too much, so undo a little bit. There we go. So did anybody see the PlayStation 5 reveal? I used to be a PlayStation gamer, but I have missed out on the PlayStation 4. I've been far too busy for games, and it's very likely I'm going to be far too busy for the PlayStation 5 as well, no matter how cool it looks. But it certainly looks better than the brick of the Xbox now. Yeah. How are we doing for time? Let's see what time it is. It's 10 o'clock. Right, I'm going to go back to vectors now. I'll put in some of the other shapes I'm missing. So I'll maybe give him his red beard. I'll make it slightly orange. Cheers, Paul. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoying my ramblings. And we'll see you next time. Let's just adjust some of these curves. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Xbox, but like I say, I haven't been gaming in how many years has the PlayStation 4 been out now? So I don't know. I might wait for the maybe next year. We'll see. You know. The trouble is when you're sitting playing PlayStation, I sometimes sit and wonder if I should be doing something else. we'll do some spots here. So just using the circle tool. And again, I'm drawing these inside the shape of the body that I put in originally. And I'll put them under the highlights and shadows layers. So you can see now if I draw a circle here, it won't do anything until it actually is inside the shape. Oops. And as well as being able to rotate, change the size, you can also change the angle or shear of it. I can never get it to work properly. It's like you've got to put your pen just off the shape. No, it's not working, see? But I can do it in a tool here. Where's it shear? So I can change the shear like that. So let's rotate. So, no. Never mind. Right now, my buttons doesn't need to be there. That there. Right, we'll do his hat. We'll do it, like Corey says, the boiler suit blue, which if I remember rightly, it was pretty dark, pretty grey. Excellent. I hope the kids enjoyed it, Corey. If there's any tips you can give me to maybe be a bit better, then let me know. Is that the right colour of blue? For the Northfrost boiler suit blue. All your kids are quite arty anyway, aren't they, Gordy? Oops. A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, right, a wee bit darker. Try that. There's something bugging me about the hat. I don't think it's sitting on his head properly. Let's see if I can tweak. Tweak this line here. Down like that. Right, because I've altered the shape of the line, mostly the colour shape underneath it doesn't follow. But what I can do is go in and see all the dots that I've created in the first time. I could just drag them now. And I have to do this for the blue as well. Yeah, that looks a bit better now. Right, this line needs to chop it back. So I put a node in there, take that node, delete it, and we're back to there. Bosh. I think we got a bit lighter. So what do we think so far? Been all right? Things looking bad. Right, we'll do the Ewan's on a bit, the shadow. So I make sure it's underneath all the layers. And again, just draw a circle, my lips. And then I change it to a certain color grey. I'll just put the values in here, 2 seconds. And then I turn the opacity down to 50%. And there we go, looks like he's actually standing on the ground now. What I'm going to do is I'll put another colour on his hat to show the underside. Stephen, something I told you. Oh, Stephen Silver. No, don't think he told me about the, or did he? I can't remember. I must have read it or heard it somewhere. That putting a shadow underneath your character grounds it to the page. Do you come up with the Egypt names before or after you create? Usually after. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing and the creature just appears on the page. Sometimes I have a general idea like this one and the name usually comes after. So again, oh, I'm still drawing 50% opacity. Ooh. Colors. So I've drawn that shape outside or on top of everything else. And it's supposed to be inside the hat. Let's just finish it off. So I drag that shape now onto the hat. Boink. So now I just want to tweak that. What's his name going to be? I don't know yet. Any suggestions? Bear in mind that he's trying to fix, trying to fix my website really, but I see him as a sort of mechanic type. Yeah, I don't think that works going all the way back there like that. Now, does that grey work? Or do I make it another kind of blue? Let's have a look. So I'll choose the original blue, and then I can just lighten it a little bit. I think saturation down a wee bit. And I think we'll add a little bit of texture to this hat, which I can do by adding noise. So you can see how that's going sort of fuzzy. That's 100% noise added. I don't want that much, just a little, so 10% maybe. That's just adding a wee bit of texture, not too much. What now? Oh, his eyes. So instead of going round the eye, going tap, 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 and creating a new shape, I can just add the fill to the circle. So, hey, colour eyes, we'll give them green. What do you think? Yeah, I think that works. Right, what I do then is I add a gradient to the fill. So there's a gradient tool over here in the toolbar. Select the circle, change the gradient to a radial type. And then we've got, you can see a light dot in the middle. So make that one lighter. So you've got two colours to go, the gradient moves from a light colour here and a dark colour here. Oops, so light colour here. Dark colour there. So it gives a little bit of light. So then I also, for some reason, don't know why I started doing this, but I've always done it, is add a drop shadow underneath the eye. So I go into my layers, choose a circle, and there's an FX panel, or effects panel, I should say. Down here, which gives me a whole pile of options from Gaussian blur, outer glow, outer shadow, inner shadow, etc., etc. And we want an outer shadow, so I switch that on. And then I go down to the bottom here, and I've got all the options to add a shadow to this shape. I don't think I've got the shape selected. There we go. So first thing I do, you can see if you change the offset, it copies the shape, moves it out. But I want it to be in this general direction, and that's too far out, so 5. I think that's too far out yet. Then I blur it out by adding a radius. There we go. Bish, bash, bash. So now I've done that with that eye, I just select it, go up to the top here, select copy, select the second eye, back up to the top, and use paste style. And it copies all the effects and colours from the first eye into the second eye. How am I getting on with my cold water barrel? It is still sitting on my patio, and I've worked out how to get the lid off it. I just have to chop some of the bands off, and then the top comes off without me cutting it, and then I put the bands back on. So once I finish painting my shed here, I am going to start cleaning up the barrel, get the lid off it, wash it down because I don't know what was inside it. I think it might have been cherry, and get it prepared. And then I think I'll put a wee seat in it at the inside, which I can also use then as a step to get out, because my wife and my mother are concerned that I won't ever get back out of the barrel. And if people are wondering what the hell am I talking about, I have a full-size whiskey sherry wine barrel in my back garden, which I'm going to fill with cold water and sit in. Now, why, you may ask? I have gone slightly stir crazy in my old age, but cold water therapy is excellent for your health. And I have, or used to be before the pandemic lockdown kicked in, I used to do a few dips in the sea. Usually do them about twice a month. Go wandering into the North Sea. But my poor body can only handle 10 minutes maximum in the water before I get borderline hypothermia, which I nearly gave myself the first time. So that wasn't good. But I've learned from then. But it's excellent for your health. And it's good crack. So yeah, I'm going to be sitting in a barrel in my back garden. I don't know what the neighbours are going to think of me, but there's actually a group of people, mainly women, that do it on a daily basis. And they are getting tremendous results with their health. You and Rhea in the sea as well today. Whereabouts did you go? Looking for. Right, get back to the layers. And back in the highlighting layer. There was a group going doing scrubs there. It was 6 o'clock at night. I can't do that. I was getting me tea. Ooh, too dark. What's going on here? Yeah, it looked quite good today. I did have a touch of a hangover today. It was not too many beers last night. So we have it so far. So done all the colours, started the highlights and shading on the body. With his nice blue hat and his spanner has started. So I think I might call it a night at that. That's been 1 hour 45 minutes of eejit creation. Do hope you enjoyed this wee guy getting made, and hopefully I will be able to share him with you when he's finished very soon. So hang on for a couple of minutes if you guys got any more questions while I continue doodling. Cheers, Gordy, and cheers, Ewan. Is there anybody here on the stream that's not from my Patreon? Because I think I knackered the links up when I posted them on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. But I corrected it for the Patreon post. Excellent. Well, thanks, Curtis. If it's wicked, then it's good enough for me. And if you have joined us from somewhere else in the interwebs and are not a member of the eejits Patreon clan, then I highly recommend you have a look at www.patreon.com/eejits. Have a look at what we offer there. It's thoroughly enjoying creating stuff right now. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but it's become my main source of loading up content. You get early access to new eejits, colouring in pages, wallpapers, sketches, and loads more. It's good crack. And building up a nice wee community here of like-minded individuals. Right, I'll do this wee bit and then I think that is it for tonight. It's getting late. A bit of highlighting here. So there we have it, a wee mechanic type eejit. I will develop him further and I will share him on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. If you search for eejits on any of these channels, then you'll no doubt find me. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. And until next time, we will see you later.